All right, today this is Landon back on the channel, and we're going to talk about playing some piano backup filler when someone's like praying, or at the beginning of when the preacher gets up to speak, or as he wraps up right before altar call or something like that. We're going to talk about what you can do during that time frame, and it's going to be more the low key side, right? We're not going to do the. I'm not going to do a lot of the upbeat part, which you can translate some of this to that. But we're going to talk a little bit about the low key side, and we're going to talk about kind of how to use dynamics and to fill that out. So the very first thing is you have to find you a chord progression that you're going to use. For this case, we're going to be, I'm going to do in the key of B flat. So that's B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, okay? And we're going to use the chord progression G minor 7, F, and E flat. I'll turn a little bit of this down here. Okay. Okay, so it's G minor, F, E flat. Now, the second thing you're going to do once you have a chord progression, and the chord progression could be the song you just, came out of. It's a chord progression from the song. It could be a chord progression of a song you're going into. This is just a good thing to do for transitions, all in general. So the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have something to sustain for a long amount of time. That can be, whether you do it on your keyboard, you have something that you can do to add reverb, delay, and more sustainability just on a regular piano sound. For me, I have a lot of layered sounds on here. As you can tell, it's not just a piano. I've got like strings, a pad, and a couple other effect sounds behind that to give that. But you can see, like, I'm just holding the thing, and that thing is sustaining. That's sustaining forever, right? So it's important to have that, because that's what's going to help you kind of bring it way down, and then you can build up. So the first thing I do is, like, while it's still a little bit, up, can I say, the dynamics right after a song, or maybe this is where you're about to go into a song, I'll play the chords like I was just doing. Okay, so I'm just playing G minor, F, E flat, F, suspended, and then regular F. Okay, so I'll kind of play that, and then to bring it down just a little bit, I will just hold those notes. Okay. All right, now so far this is probably not anything new, but here's the little trick that I want to teach, okay? Is that when I get to the very lowest of the low, the quietest I want to be, the speaker's already kind of, up there, because in some churches they may exhort for a little bit, and so you can do more of that full stuff. Excuse me. But in this case, like, maybe he's reading scripture, maybe he's praying, like a soft prayer, or maybe he's wrapping up and just calls kind of the music to start, or that's the cue for the music to kind of start, and you want to start out kind of very soft and then build it back up. So the very lowest point I get, what I do is I actually play the 1 and the 3 of the chord, so only 2 notes of that chord, using a finger in each hand. Okay, so I will go in like one of the lower registers, and I will play the 1. So that's going to be the G, F, E flat, F, okay? In the right hand, I'm going to play the 3. Now, if you're not familiar with the numbers, I do have another video about numbers, but basically that's the number of the note in that scale. So if we're in E flat, okay? So if E flat is the root note, the 2, the 3 is a G, okay? If we're in F, all right, the 3 is an A. 1, 2, 3, okay? And then when you're in G minor, which is 1, 2, 3 flat, basically of a major scale, 1, 2, 3. Okay, an easy way to memorize this, just for like the 6, 5, 4. Okay, a chord progression, which is what we're doing: 6, 5, 4, G, F, E flat, back to F. Is that you can start with the 1, the B flat, over the G, and then just walk everything down. A, okay, over F, and then G over E flat. Okay. And then when we go do that suspended, you go F over the B flat over F first. Okay. And so you can do that with any chord progression, but that gives it a very slower, because you don't have as many notes playing, so you kind of bring it down a little bit. So it just, again, it's like. You can do it with a little bit lower on the end. Here we go. Okay, so that's kind of a trick. So you're just... Alright. Now to build that back up, you just start adding notes to it. So I may start with like the... Alright, and then I go with the chords. And then you can kind of build it up. And then you, of course, can build it up for more from that. Alright, you kind of get the thing. And of course, other instruments adding to that will help it sound more full. And you could add the bass in there. All right. And that's kind of just something you can use. And you can use any chord progression, right? You know, you can start out, if you want to do more like, if you want to walk up like B flat, C minor 7, to B flat over D, E flat, major 9. Alright, you can use that same concept and do that 3. So. Alright, now for B flat over D, because I'm doing a bass, I'm just going to do the D. Alright. And then that G, E flat and G. You do the higher register to keep the walk in if you want. So again, it's you can play with different things. You can add other notes, but that's just a quick little tip trip that you can kind of play behind the scenes that I do a lot when it really brings it down and you want to do it. Now the key is to have those sound sustaining things behind it. What I do a lot is, most keyboards can do this, and if you have an app, you can do it too. You just kind of have to research it, but you can assign a sound. If you have a keyboard that is any sort of workstation stage level keyboard, I mean, pretty much if it's over, I would say $800-900 or up, especially if you hit over that $1,000 range, it should have this functionality in it. And that is to assign a sound to a certain range of keys. Okay, so like big strings, I will assign kind of on the lower end. You hear that kind of like the cello sound, and then I don't have quite as much on the higher end, as you can tell. I have just like kind of a little bell ring on there, and kind of a little bit of a, it's actually like an electric piano sound. It's called a Mark 1 Suite 1 kind of electric key sound. Did you hear that kind of wavering in there? But all of the pad and the strings are lower end for me. And the reason why I do that is because when I'm doing individual notes, I don't want a lot of layers on that. I want that to really shine through. So I kind of put that, and that's going to help you. So like if you want to cut through, see right here on this B flat, that still has strings on it, but this B flat up here, you notice that strings goes away. So I can really cut through if I do that. And you hear that nice string sound with it. Okay, and that really provides an atmosphere of worship, especially for prayer, and for a speaker to come up or to get ready to turn it back over to worship. So that's pretty much it for this video. Again, let me know in the comments if there's some other things you would like to kind of show in that kind of area and realm. But that's just kind of a simple tip and trick of kind of what you can do to play before and after like a prayer or during prayer or speaker of some sort when you're not singing and having the whole band. And of course, if you have an electric guitar that's kind of doing swells, and then a drummer that gives you some ride, and then some swells on the cymbals as you go crescendos is what they're called, as you build up, that makes a huge difference and adds a lot to that ambiance as well. But that'll kind of help you create it on the keys, especially if it's just you. So I hope you like this video. So if you do, like it, subscribe to the channel, and put a comment down if there's something specific you would like to see.